Right. So today I'm going to explain you about a case study from a business analyst side for a project of implementing artificial intelligence in claim processing. Because this is a project-based learning, case study-based learning for any people who are looking for opportunities as a BA, especially from artificial intelligence. By upgrading your skills to AI, I'm not saying 100% transforming ourselves, but when we are upgrading ourselves into artificial intelligence and uh, how this can done, right? How this can be and how we can explain that, right? This is a case study explanation I'm going to provide in today's session. As we all know, first of all, let me explain you what BA stands for. I hope many of the people are aware of, but still anyway, as it in intro, I am going to provide you that. Business analysts are the people who act as a liaison between business and technical community, wherein by understanding about the kind of existing problem which customer is having, followed by this translating problem into a business solution, from there into a technical solution with the help of technical team. Also by considering the business objective goals that are to be achieved further. Finally, what kind of solution and how this can be implemented. Make sure the solution has to be completed within the specific timelines. This coordination will be done by the BA. So for that, we need to have two different skills. One is the functional skills, second is the technical skills. Functional skills means, let us take an example of the claim processing. Claim processing is relating to insurance, you know that. For example, a person has taken any policy, a person has submitted any claim so far, right? So the claim processing team will process the claim and all, will verify what are the policy benefits that particular policy holder consists of. Based on that, how much percentage to be reimbursed. Everything will be decided by the claim team. Based on the inspection, everything will be made and they do it. That's what something generally we see when it comes to the claim processing, etc. All this is concerned. Now, as a business analyst, when we are working on the application, whatever the process that the claim processing that we usually do in the insurance field, that functional understanding is required for you, means how the insurance organization works. It need not be an insurance. It can be banking, it can be healthcare, it can be retail, it can be anything, right? Because I'm taking an example of claim processing, it can be anything. But so functional knowledge is required for a BA. How the exact process goes within the organization. There are a couple of business activities, claim processing, settlements. It can be policy creations, cancellations, updations, reinstatements, anything, okay, anything, billing, right? So commercial billing, right? At the same time, commission plans, agency billing plans, right? So it can be anything. So the process understanding you must be aware of. This is what we call it as functional skills are. Second, we call it as technical skills, means knowledge about the technology. So there is no parameter for the technology, as I say. Some companies may ask to have some in-depth of technical knowledge, maybe something relating to API integrations, all these. Or else some people may expect you to have some knowledge over SQL, Power BI, right? Because SQL we use for extracting queries, etc. At the same time, Power BI is used for the dashboard visualizations, etc. Dashboards are being created, Power BI, all these. So these are usually which normally will be part of technical skills, knowing about SQL or Power BI as a regular business analyst. Apart from that, writing some user stories and all using Jira, or knowing about API, XML, web services. For integration purpose, I am referring to. At the same time, having some knowledge over data mapping, ETL tools. All these were technical skills. So, company to company, profile to profile, experience to experience, whatever the skill set any company requires for a BA may vary, slightly varies, because some people should have a knowledge over the functional side. Some people expect a person should have knowledge on the technical side, and both sometimes. So, as a BA, this is what generally we do. Now, in context to the case study that I have taken, first of all, we should understand right from the actual problems which customer is facing, right? So everything prior to that, we must be knowing about what are the business objectives, what is the exact their project all about. Everything we must be aware of. Okay. So I'm going to explain you one by one so that you guys will understand better. Now, this is the project as I told you. Case study I have taken of implementing AI, artificial intelligence in claim processing. Because claim processing to do, we have different roles will be there. It can be claim adjudicator, claim supervisor, even customer service representatives will be involved and they do it, which is a human intervention, manual human intervention, which is mainly involved, even though we are using application. Because there are some processes which can be automated, this can be compensated with artificial intelligence. That's how nowadays companies are looking for. Because I don't say every process will be transformed into AI. Slowly they may do one after another, right? So this can be for different reasons. Either they want to reduce their operational cost or they want to make it more accurate and more refined in future. It can be for any reason. Okay. End of the day, implementing artificial intelligence is required so that you can create your own patterns. So that based upon the pattern, we write the algorithms. Machine learning AI and ML development team will do the writing the algorithms, etc. Based on that system, understand the pattern and it will give you the solution. So implementing AI in claim processing is the case study we have taken. First, as a BA, we must be knowing about the overview of the project. When you try to understand about the overview of the project, first we must be knowing about why objective. Why are we requiring artificial intelligence implementation in the insurance claims? Claim processing, you must be aware of. The objective anyway, as I stated here, you can see, which is to automate and optimize insurance claim processing using artificial intelligence, is an objective behind. Because without knowing about the objective as a BA, providing a solution doesn't have any value, because end of the day return of investment is more important. Whatever the return of investment customer is expecting in form of the quality deliverables, quality output which they want, maybe for the existing problem they were facing or the future requirements which they want to address. So automating and optimizing insurance claim processing using artificial intelligence is an objective behind. The reason I told you already, right? So it can be any reason, right? They want to automate the process completely so that 24 by 7 activity. Because as it is a human intervention, we may work for 8 hours, 10 hours, and 12 hours. More than that, we cannot. But if you are adopting this to the system, or you are creating an environment where AI is implemented, so that 24 by 7 activity system will work more faster based upon the patterns that we have created and algorithms that we have written. It details you the process and it will complete in very less time. Well, less time, more accurate, 24 by 7 work can be done. That's the reason why they want to automate this process so that the claim processing time will be very less. So that the claims, because a number of claims we receive, right? So they want to do it. They want to automate intake, validations, and adjudication. Intake means claim intake, I'm saying. Claims has to be validated and adjudicated. If you are having human intervention here, it takes time due to the various reasons. So this they want to automate. Next, using OCR and as well as NLP to extract the information, that is even required, because natural language processing is one of the one which majorly we are using in AI to extract the information. That is one objective behind. Next, they want to identify fraud detection with using different machine learning models, because fraud detection, if there is any claims that we have identified which are not genuine, okay, that fraud detection is also needed. Fraud detection can be done using ML models, machine learning models. This is also another objective. Finally, they want to enhance the customer experience with real-time updates. This is an objective as a BA, where first of all we must be aware of. Point number one. Point number two. Second, we must be knowing about the business objective. Now, here do remember, these are the project objectives. Means when you want to implement the project, what are the objectives that are to be achieved? Because end result you must be aware of. You and as well as your team should be aware of. That's the reason why project objectives must be known to us well in advance. Second, about the business objective. Business objectives from the customer point of view. Customer wants to reduce their claim processing time to 40 to 60%. That is their business objective. In what way these business objectives are relating to project objective? That relativity is something that as a BA you must ensure. So reducing the claim processing time to 40 to 60% is one business objective. Improving fraud detection accuracy is one more objective customer is expecting. They want to enhance the customer experience because BO and project objectives both should be similar. Then only project will have a value. Otherwise, there is no value further. That's the reason this is important for you. Okay. Next, we can enhance the guideware. Yeah. So we can enhance the customer experience with real-time updates. That also can be done. At the same time, it also ensures regulatory compliances and all that we must be aware of. Followed by this, we should enable scalable across multiple lines of business. These are the business objectives as a BA you must be familiar with. Again, I'm repeating, project objectives and business objectives must be the same. So once we know about the project overview, followed by the business objectives and all that. So once we know about that overview, business objectives and all, because these are all the project overview, project objectives that we need to achieve. That is one thing. This is about the business objectives. So the project overview that we are about to address must be equivalent to the business objectives. Next, we must be knowing about the stakeholders because stakeholder integration is also one of the key and important thing that we do. So to do stakeholder identification, right? So we use power and interest grid at the same time, ratio matrix and all we use. And how this can be done practically, that you will be learning. That's different, right? So that is different anyway. But this is an overall explanation about the case study I'm giving you. There are different techniques we use to engage stakeholders and all. First of all, we must understand who are the stakeholders are, who the stakeholders are. Okay? BAs can be the one stakeholder, claims operation team, at the same time data science team and AI team, architecture team, risk and compliance team, customer agents. These are all the stakeholders. Either it can be internal stakeholders, it can be external stakeholders. Internal stakeholders means people who are working within the project, right? Directly they are influencing the project. That directly they are involving. External stakeholders means who are supporting us from outside. That stakeholder understanding is even required for us. So knowing about the stakeholders is even important here. So understanding the stakeholders so that you will be understanding, you will be interacting with them, conducting some chat sessions, all that, or in different ways of communication we do, exchanging the documents, presentations, all these, and so that you will be knowing about what stakeholders are expecting and what is that something that we develop. That you must be aware of. This is the reason why we must be knowing about the stakeholders first. Next, current challenges. These are the problems, right? What because here, if you remember in the beginning, I told you about the overview and the objectives. Now, as a BA, will be knowing about the current challenges. Current challenges in different means, as I told you, because sometimes we go to the client location and we gather some information. Through observation, we'll be knowing many things. At the same time, exchanging documents, presentations, conducting some chat sessions, right? So different ways to do that. Okay. Because sometimes when we are transforming into agile environment, product owner itself will give you all that information. So these are the current challenges. First of all, you need to know for AI transformation. One is about the high manual effort in document verification. Because if you can go back to the previous slides as I have explained you about that, because in the business objective they have given reducing the claim processing time to 40 to 60%. Because the big existing problem they are facing is challenging is manual. Because of the document verification itself is taking time, which they want to reduce. So these are the challenges. One is manual effort that they want to reduce. For that AI they want to implement. Next, delayed use in missing incomplete information that they want to reduce. Next, fraudulent claims slipping through that they want to. This is one of the current challenge they are facing. At the same time, lack of real-time updates followed by legacy system is not integrating with AI tools. Legacy system means existing on-premise applications we are using for a very long time in the organization. Server, everything is located within the system. It's not a cloud. Cloud means application is in the cloud environment. You can access it using user ID password. But legacy systems are on-premise systems where these on-premise systems are not integrated with any kind of AI tools and all. So that this automation process and all everything will not be possible because AI happening now. Slowly people were adopting AI wherever it is required, right, to reduce their manual effort, right? So maybe operational cost for any reason. So legacy systems they are using, which they are not integrated with AI. So these are the current challenges which customer has identified, customer is facing, which as a BA we must be knowing. So once you know what you will be knowing, then you will be knowing about what exactly the differences you see from as is and to be. This as is and to be, which is called gap analysis, because as is nothing but the existing system. Existing system, they have a claim intake. Everything is happening in human intervention is involved, document verification, claim adjudication, customer communication, everything is an as is process. Wherein this they want to transform into the to be process. How this can be implemented in AI is something as a BA we will be knowing when you have identified these in detail. Okay, when you interacted with the people, you will be knowing about this well. Next, we must be knowing about what kind of proposed AI process driven solution that we are explaining. Okay, that you must be aware of. So proposed AI driven solution that we are developing, especially for claim intake and triage and all that. So we can use AI chatbots and portals. But when we want to provide a solution, do remember this is in context to in connect to the technical team. As a BA alone, we don't come up with, because there can be many other requirements for the customers as well. So we must be knowing about these requirements well in advance. When you have interacted with the customer, you will be when you are interacting with the technical team, you will be knowing it. As a BA alone, we don't do that. So proposed AI driven solution could be, it can be many other app, but this is one of the solution, proposed AI driven solution I have given. Claim intake and triage can be done using AI chatbots and portals and all that. At the same time, OCR and as well as NLP for document extraction we can do. As far as claim intake and triage is concerned, this is the solution.